Hello there everyone, welcome back to another video. It is me, Desiree, and today we are talking about these palettes from Wet n Wild. These are from their new collection called the Zodiac collection. They had these, which I actually thought, when I saw these on the Walmart website, I thought they were highlighter palettes. You know those kind of highlighter palettes that look like this? So I wasn't interested in getting any of them because once you have one or two of these kind of extreme highlight palettes, you kind of have them all. So I wasn't really interested in getting it, but I saw them in store. They're actually eyeshadow palettes, and I thought that was super interesting because look at this cool design they have on them. And I got 3 out of the 4 eyeshadow palettes. They're all named after one of the elements. This is water. That's how that one looks. Very, very cute. This one called fire. That's how it looks. This is actually the one that I'm wearing today. And then the one called earth. That's this one. And air is the one I didn't get. I don't remember why I didn't get it. I feel like it probably looked really similar to one of the other ones. I didn't want to get all of them just for the sake of getting all of them. But, oh boy, let's just talk about these palettes, shall we? They also had lipsticks, or they look like lipsticks. I didn't really look at what the other things were. And they had highlighters. The highlighters reminded me of that mermaid highlighter that was god-awful, in my opinion. So I wasn't even interested in getting any of those, but they were also named after the elements, which I thought was pretty cool. And they're designed really cute. The shades just weren't for me. But anyway, let's talk about these palettes, shall we? This is the shade called Earth. And this palette made me freaking angry to use it. It made me so mad. This palette is god-awful. That's the only way I can describe it. It's truly awful. If you are interested in getting any of these palettes, don't get this one. It's going to make you mad. It only works when you wet the shadows. I'm hoping to demonstrate this properly. So they're all super duper metallic shades. All the palettes are. They don't have any mattes in them. They all kind of are really, I don't want to say soft, but they're really, I want to say crumbly. Like they're going to make a mess in your palette. I'm going to show you the swatches. God awful, right? When you try to put these on with a brush, oh my god, they made me so mad. Because I was getting the brush, my flat brush here that I always use with shadows like this. I was patting it in here. And then I was like trying to put it on my lid. It would not go on. It would just start falling off right away. So I'm going to try and show you a brush swatch, if I can demonstrate. So this is how they swatch with the brush. When you look at it, I mean, look at that. It's just a little lint floating around. Anyway, let's try it again with the brush. I'm actually using this spray from Wet n Wild, this awful spray. I got a little tip from my friend Kitty Cat Beauty to use sprays you don't like for your face to wet your brushes with, and it works great. Anyway, so I wet the brush, and we're gonna, I don't know if I can demonstrate this on camera or not, but look how much better it comes out wet. I mean, it's night and day with this stuff. You have to wet every single one of these. Every single one needs to be wet in order to make it look like eyeshadow at all. Otherwise, I mean, disappointment right there. This way, way better. But in order to wet every single shadow every time, it's just too much work for me. I don't have any interest in doing that with all of these. And I mean, if these little tiny shadows here, I guess if you have a smaller brush, it's not the end of the world. But they're a little bit smaller here. And then you gotta wet your brush. Let's wet the brush again. And then we'll swatch that yellow one there. And they're pretty, but the amount of work, not that it's a lot of work, but I don't like having to go through all this work to make this palette work for me. It should just work the way that it is. And it doesn't say anything on it, anything on the back, anything like that that says these are made to be used wet or dry. It just says eyeshadow, right? I don't like this one. It made me so mad to use it. It gave me fallout like crazy. It could not get them to stay on my lids. It drove me up a wall. Again, the one called Earth. Do not recommend. The second disappointing one is the one called Water, and this one looks really, really pretty. And there it is. Same exact thing as the other one. You have to wet this one, and you have to wet that one, and you have to wet the white one. The white one is very just like typical super thin blah white shade. Sometimes it works, like it swatched nice there, but on like trying to get it on my eyes, it just does not look right. This one I actually really like. This one reminds me of Nutty, like the new one. I prefer the old Nutty shade. It's their single shadow. It's a nice gentle taupe shade. It's great. I do like that one a lot. And then the other one I liked a lot was the brown one, and that's about it. That brown one right there. And that one goes on well with the brush as well. These two go on well with the brush and a finger. You don't have to wet them to make them look good. But this one and the blue one especially, do I have a clean finger? The blue, I had high hopes for the blue, but not really like high hopes. You know, blue is always a difficult shade. It's kind of dark. It's one of those shades that doesn't really look too blue once you get it on. It just looks like a dark shade. So it's not my favorite. And then the teal one here kind of looks like that shade from one of their Flights of Fancy little quads they came out with. Oh my god, I'm running out of room here. When you wet this one though, it's spectacular. This one looks freaking awesome on the lids. Going on dry though, it is blah. You know, it'll look okay in a swatch here, but trying to get it from here to look like that is impossible if you don't wet your brush. I mean, it's 1,000 times better if you wet your brush. So to have like two shades and then one that has to be used wet out of the whole palette is kind of just not worth it to me. Yeah, that one's, this is so disappointing. This one though is awesome. This is the one called Fire. And when you look at it, I mean, look at it. It's freaking beautiful. I do have this on today. Please don't judge the freshness of my makeup. I've had this on for, what time is it? 15 hours already, and I've slept in it, so yeah. I worked overnight, took a nap this morning, and I'm like, I'm making this video. So anyway, this one's great. I didn't have to use any of these wet at all. I just grabbed a brush, put them on, and it's pigmented, it's beautiful. These two shades are actually two different shades, but I mean, to be honest, I just dab the brush in them like this and grab them both at the same time because they do look very, very similar. But this one is very, very stunning. Really pretty. This one is like those few shades that are in the Flights of Fancy quads that are actually good are these kind of shades. Like, they're really metallic, they're really pretty, they go on well, you don't have to wet them at all. Which one's left? The brown one. That's this one swatched out. It's really pretty. It swatches well. It also goes on well with the brush. It doesn't like get all disgusting like this one did, the earth one that kind of just like crumbled up in the pan. This one's great. This is a nice little gem in the collection. I don't have the other one. I'm not even curious to try it now, the one Air, because I feel like it's not going to be that good. But if you're interested in getting any of these eyeshadow palettes, I mean, this is the only one that I can wholeheartedly say is good. It is all metallic, super shimmer though. It's not shimmer, it's metallic. I'll just say it, metallic. No mattes, but that's not really an issue for me. If I don't have any mattes, I don't really care. I'll put it on anyway. I have on this one here just all over the lid, and then the brown one in the outer part blended up to kind of darken it. And then I have this gold one, or this kind of coppery one here. Dang, look at my swatch fingers on the lid a little bit. And that's kind of how I wore it. I like this one though. I do keep reaching for this. I like the compact style. I think it's kind of cool that they did something different rather than their little quads that they keep coming out with for every new collection, that they all kind of start looking the same. I really like that they tried something different with the packaging. I like the style of the eyeshadows. I like that they're all in one thing. For the most part, this one doesn't really seem to be like, as you can see, that brown one there kind of went into that one. I feel like over time, I don't know, depending on how messy you are, maybe they'll start blending together. But I kind of like that they tried something different with these rather than the same quads all the time with the same kind of setup and stuff. Yeah, but some of them aren't that great, like this one here. And then what was the last one? Water. This one is just kind of okay. But yeah, that's it. Those are my thoughts on the new Wet n Wild Zodiac eyeshadow palettes. If you bought any of these, let me know what you're thinking. Are you having so much trouble with them like I was? Did you have to wet them every single time to make them work? And I think that's it. Let me know your thoughts down below. I would love to hear. And thanks for watching this video. See you in another one. Goodbye.